Hi, and welcome to my channel. My name is Amanda, and I am going to go on a bit of a side quest. So if you've watched videos before, you guys know that I have a TBR book quest that I play, and we go across the game board and do all kinds of things like that. Well, I wanted to do a little weekend version and hang out with my members while we chat about the books that I'm going to be picking and what I'm going to be reading, and also doing some sprints. And part of that was that I wanted to make a little side quest board. So I'm going to get out of the way and show you. Now, I didn't film it, but I've already done my first roll. I started this at 3 p.m. and I'm going until midnight the next night. So like a day and a half-ish. And that's how long the whole thing is going to be. I just want to see if I can make it through this board. And these are the steps that I'm going through. And these over here are the prompts. So the first roll, I rolled a 9, and I was like, oh yay, because I'm rolling a d10 on the rolls. So I was very excited about my 9, and I made it, well, I hit the wrong button. And I had to pick the shortest title. So like the least number of words in your title. And if you have two titles that are with just one word, then the one that is the shortest is the one you would read. So I went over here because I am trying to read as many Her Kid books as I can. And the one that I had that was the shortest title was Summerlong right here. I've already made it less transparent because I've already finished it. Let me move it to the front while we talk about it. There are a few things that I want to talk about this book. Number one, it's not my kind of book anyway. It's very domestic fiction, which I don't like. Like, I don't want to hear about families. I don't want to hear about your family and how it's going and all that stuff. And, oh gosh, and I'm going to read you the synopsis, which I just read to my members. And the very first line says, Don, father of 3. No, he's not. He has 2 children. He just has 2 kids. I don't know how they got that wrong, like in the very beginning of their thing. I don't know how you write this book and you're like, hey, guys, there are only 2 children. Y'all might want to fix that. So I'm on here right now looking at this, and it says, I'm trying to get back to the beginning where it starts. One night, Don, a father of 2, okay, they fixed it on Goodreads, but they got it wrong on the book blurb, leaves his house for an evening stroll, only to wake up the next morning stoned and lying in a hammock next to a young woman he barely knows. Listen, that is not at all what happened. That sounds like the version that he's telling people of what happened. That is not what happened in this book. And then, that same night, his wife, Claire, leaves the house to go on a midnight run, only to find herself bumming cigarettes and beer outside the all-night convenience store. Listen, this is a convoluted mess with this married couple and then a couple of single people who are rotating around them in a whole, like, are we going to cheat? Are we not going to cheat? Do you love me anymore? Do you love me? Do you love this new person? Do you love this new person? I don't love anybody, and I'm actually trying to go meet the person that I did love who died, and I feel like if I die, I'll be with them. It is absolute nonsense and entirely too much drama. Like, if I were involved in any of this in real life with anybody who was acting like any of the people in here, also the random drug use, I don't know about y'all, but when my friends have like a summer bash party where they're like, hey, let's come over and, you know, it's hot, let's hang out for the summer, I don't walk in the bathroom and just see somebody casually snorting cocaine. Like, that's not a thing that happens at the parties that I attend. Am I going to the wrong parties? I don't know. But this book was not good, and I did not like it. And it's in Iowa, okay? That's another thing. Like, I feel like they're not partying in LA. They are partying in Iowa. And they're like, get the cocaine. What? Anyway, I did not like this book. I'm going to give it 2 stars. That is like the lowest rating I ever give anything. I'm going to give it 2 stars. So, let's talk about what just happened. This just completely left my orbit. Okay, so I need to get this thing back down here to the low transparency so I don't have to look at it again. There we go. All right, then I rolled again with my D10, and you can see it over here because I just did it, and I got a 2. And I was like, oh, great, I get to move to 11. And then I look over here, and number 11 is a physical book. Now, if you know anything about me, you know that I don't like to read physically because it takes me a really long time to do it. However, I have some books on my Her Kid list over here that I have physical copies of, and I have the audio versions. So my plan right now is to read the Daughter of Flood and Fury tandem while I listen and read with my eyes at the same time. So this seems like it's going to be a really good book, and the author was born in North Dakota, so I need to find out more about him as well. But I'll talk about this more when I finish. I'm hoping I might be able to finish it tonight. I don't know. It's already 10 minutes till 10, and I'm sprinting with my members for a little while longer, and then we'll just see. We'll see where I am. We'll see what I feel like. If I'm really tired, I'm going to go to bed. If I'm not tired, which I'm not right now, then I'll just stay up for a little while. But anyway, that's what I'm doing right now. I will check in with y'all when I finish Daughter of Flood and Fury and tell you about it. The synopsis sounds like it's going to be great. So I'll be back in a little bit. Okay, so I was at number 11, which was the physical book, and I finished Daughter of Flood and Fury by Levi Jacobs. I really like this book. I am going to give it between a 3.75 and a 4. I will put the next book on my TBR, and then I'll decide when I read the second book. There are 3 books that are already out in this series, and according to his author's note in the back of this, he already has 8 books planned when he wrote this one. So I didn't love the ending and the way things were wrapped up. I feel like he set up a really big moment and then kind of just let it down slowly. Like eased on down to not give you what you want. So anyway, I did not love this. So I'm going to give the next book a go. So then with my members, I tried to film it. I was going to film my roll. I rolled a D10. Let's see if it's still up here. It is. I got a 9, and I moved 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 to the 20, which my head is covering up. And 20 over here is a cover color. So I went over and looked at my list over here. I had to go through a couple of colors because these are the only ones I have. And the first thing I landed on was pink, which Be Mine Forever is definitely pink, but I can't read it unless I read Loving You Always because they're in a series. So my members were like, hey, what about role playing? And when I look at role playing, it has a pink couch. Her name is written in pink. Playing is written in pink. So that's what I went with, was role playing. And I just started it. And it is so stinking cute. So I am an hour in, maybe it looks like, I think an hour. And so I will check back in when I finish it, or when I'm with my members. Maybe I will remember to record. But we're going to do one more dice roll because it is 11 a.m. and I am on my 3rd book already. It's been less than 24 hours. This is going so well. So I'm going to read role playing, and I will check back in with y'all in a little bit. Well, I think we're definitely going to do it. I only have 5 more spaces to finish. And what I'm thinking I might do is roll a D6 just so I get one more book and then call it done. Because I don't want to roll like a 7 and be like, okay, well, I guess I'm finished. I want to read until later tonight. So that is going to be my plan, to get a D6 and hopefully land on the board. I mean, I guess I could roll a 6 and be off the board, but maybe I'll re-roll if I do that. Anyway, I'm going to roll a D6 next time. We'll see what we get. And this will be a very successful first side quest of the TBR quest, book quest TBR. So that is everything for right now. I'm going to go read role playing, and I'll check back in with you later. Okay. Prompt number 20 was for me to read the cover color, and I read role playing. This was so incredibly cute. I had so much fun with it. There was like a little bitty part in the middle where I was like, okay, I see where this is going, and I need y'all to get there a little bit faster. But it was so good. And I found myself, after I was thinking back on it, going, oh, I wish I would have, I want a book like that again. I want to read another book like that makes me feel like that. I really, really liked it. So our 2 characters who, if you read the synopsis, they're both gamers, and it's almost like a World of Warcraft situation where you go in the world and then you go and do quests and things like that, and you can do them in groups or by yourself or however you want to do it. And so he runs a guild, and his mother's friend gives her this other lady's name and says she plays games and she wants to join your son's guild. So he thinks that this woman that wants to join the guild is his mother's age, right? So now he's picturing this old lady. And then she heard, like, there's a guy who has this guild and he's a community college student and you can join his guild. So she thinks he's in his 20s. So actually they're both in their late 40s, this almost the same age. And so it was really funny when they figured it out. But that part wasn't like all drawn out, which I was a little bit worried might happen. So that was really good. I just enjoyed it so much when they like figured out what happened. And then the way it's definitely slow burn. Don't think that they're going to insta love or anything, but it was so good. I really, really liked it. Okay. Then I rolled a D6, which I told you I was going to do before, and I got a 5. No, I didn't film it. I filmed none of it for some reason, but that put me at the very last one, which is 25, which is a member pick. So I just happened to be sprinting with my members at that moment, and so I asked them, what I did was I went over here and I said, these are all the books. You can't pick With a Vengeance. Sorry, I'm covering it up. You can't pick With a Vengeance because it's not out yet, and you can't pick Be Mine Forever because I have to read Loving You Always first. So we had a couple people that were like, I recommend these two. We had a couple of votes for Just for the Summer, but the one that got the most votes was Fly with the Arrow. Let me get it in the front so we can look at all of it. All of us look together at it. Wow. I also have a physical copy of it. You can tell I'm sleepy as well. So I spent all afternoon reading Fly with the Arrow, and I liked it. Now, I was warned by one of my members. Brenna said that she had read it before, and she had read the first 2 books because she thought that the first one ended on a cliffhanger. And so I was already prepared. But yes, it did. And it made me angry because I don't like books that end on cliffhangers. Like, I have other books to read. I cannot just go chase down your next book and get it and read it just because you decided to have everything fade to black and somebody pass out at the end. No, I don't like it. I also want there to be dual POVs in a romance novel. Don't give me a romance novel and only give me one person's point of view. I do not like it. There's 2 people involved in this relationship. Even if there's 7 people involved in it, I want to hear from all 7 people, not just one person in a relationship. Okay, that's my pet peeves about this book. But otherwise, I really enjoyed it. I think it was really good. The premise says that there is some kind of tournament that happens every 200 years, is what I thought it said in the synopsis. But in the book, they said every 500 years. So I don't know, but every 500 years, I guess, there's a tournament. But what happens is every so often, and it must be every few hundred years, this guy comes and kidnaps a bride. Not kidnaps, actually. He takes her because of an arrangement that he has made with her people. But then there's a whole group of people that's like, you're a kidnapper. And he's like, your people gave this woman to me. Like, yes, I am taking her, but that's because of an agreement that we made years ago. So we could renegotiate the agreement, or y'all could just leave me alone. Like, anyway, I didn't like those people either. So we follow her as she is chosen and goes with the Arrow. They call him the Arrow. But also he's Bluebeard. Like, the name of this is, the name of the whole series is something about Bluebeard, and he has a blue beard. But apparently it's just like stubbly, like blue. I don't know. Also, she says it's not like Smurf blue. She describes what color blue it is. Anyway, it sounds like it's like a really dark blue that's almost black. So I'm like, how could you tell if it was blue or black? I don't understand if it's so dark blue. Anyway, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I will eventually read the next book. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm promising. I think there are 3 that are out right now, but I will eventually read the next one. It's going on my list, and I will get to it at some point. But it's not going to be right now, so we're just going to be left everybody faded to black in this book for a while. But that's it. I ended it. I did the whole thing. Oh, wow. Now my hair is everywhere in my face. And so I have blurred this out or whatever. And look at how we're starting out June. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 books. And Tower of Dogs, I'm almost done. So 8 books, we could say, 8 of them on audio, to finish out Her Kid. That's it. That's all I have left. And it's going to be really easy to get it done. So that is my plan for going forward. And I'm just going to work on that in June. I'm also going to be doing the Amazing Readathon and Camp Seasonathon through all of June. And then for 2 weeks in June, the last 2 weeks, I'm going to be doing Wonderthon. So there's going to be things happening and coming on the channel all through the month of June. Oh, and we're leaving our house on the 10th. And we will not get to our new house until about July 1st. So that's going to be fun as well. Okay, I am going to go, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.